Hi. If you guys liked my last Eugenia video, you're gonna fucking love this one. I'm just gonna read what I wrote down. So let's talk about the laziest, most manipulative line in moral panic history. Think of the children! People drag this phrase out when they've run out of arguments, but they still want to feel righteous. It's the slogan that you grab when you need an excuse to light the torch, but don't want to admit that you're holding one. So I keep seeing this argument. It's what everybody is throwing at me over and over and over and over again in response to Eugenia. A mass group of people cheering each other on, swarming a visibly sick, mentally ill girl, and they honestly believe that they are the good guys. Let's stop pretending groups of people are good at being morally right. You know what this is? This is a digital lynch mob. This is Moral Panic 101, just dressed as Concern Core and YouTube thumbnails. She can be mentally ill, just not like that. That's what you're saying. You're saying mentally ill people can exist as long as they're one of the good ones. She has to be digestible. She has to be polished. She has to be quiet. She has to be recovering, but not too slowly. Sick, but still inspiring. You don't want her to get better. You want her to perform wellness in a way that makes you feel better. But the thing is, everyone gets to be online. The internet is Earth now. We are not in 1998. You don't just get to fucking log off and disappear. Sick people are allowed to be here. Messy people, unresolved people, mentally ill people. People who make the world less pretty and muddle up nice little ad revenue fantasies. They just fucking get to be here. You don't get a gatekeep existence because somebody makes you uncomfortable. Oh, and don't act like this is fucking new. Guys, you know who else raised their fists when they saw people that they didn't like on screen? Fine. Well, those coloreds can be on TV. Just as long as my kids don't gotta see their Negro dancing. Does that sound familiar? No? Well, how about she can be mentally ill, just not where my kids can see her. Not unless she's one of the good ones. Not unless she makes it look pretty. That's not safety, that's bigotry. That's a soft voice and a child safety filter slapped on top. Uh-oh, and I know. You can't compare racism to mental illness. Yeah, I fucking can. The mentally ill were thrown into camps too. The Nazis started with the disabled, the schizophrenic, anorexics, inconvenient. They called it mercy. They called it public safety. Does that fucking sound familiar now? The Nazis began with the mentally ill. Action T4 was a mass euthanasia program. I don't know if I said that right. Aktion T4. It was a mass euthanasia program. No gas chambers yet, just institutionalized, disabled, and mentally ill people deemed unfit for life. In America, mentally ill people were forcibly sterilized, lobotomized, hidden in asylums, denied education, denied employment, and in many cases, they disappeared. They are still disproportionately imprisoned, killed by police, denied housing, and subjected to involuntary treatment in ways that would be criminal in any other context. And online, the abuse is more palatable now because it's couched as concern. You guys might not be literal Nazis, but you're using the exact same arguments and justifications that people have used to persecute minorities and mentally ill people. And they have always been a part of the equation. We're in a day and age where anyone could be mentally ill as long as it feels safe. Everyone feels safe raising their torches and pitchforks and going after mentally ill people because we're vulnerable. We don't fight back, and if we do fight back, then we're crazy. We're entertainment. We're whatever. And YouTube decides that this harassment of mentally ill people is okay because it's making money. And everybody justifies it by saying, well, they're a danger to the children. They're corrupting society. They're making people like them. They shouldn't be allowed to be seen. They need to be removed for the greater good. Who else used those arguments, guys? We have always been attacked just as viciously, and we are the last unprotected group of people that everybody thinks that this is okay to do this to. This is how you justify persecution without looking like a villain. It's how you build a mob that thinks they're doing the right thing. Whether it's a synagogue, a drag show, a girl with anorexia live streaming, it always starts with, they shouldn't be allowed to be that way where other people can see it. That is a dangerous linear of thinking, and it's literally starting the exact same thing all the fuck over again. People don't believe in mental illness, and even if they do, they don't want to accept the reality of how it works. People don't want mentally ill people to have their own spaces. They don't want them to talk with their own voices, and they don't want them to make content for other mentally ill people. They think that we're supposed to whitewash ourselves to make our problems and our trauma and our history digestible for them. Normies hate it when I address people like me directly and make stuff that people like me need to hear, and they hate when we're seen. It's like they think less fortunate people exist only to serve their own ego and make them feel like good people. They have absolutely no respect for me, for Eugenia, for anybody suffering with our problems. Their empathy is entirely conditional on whether or not we say exactly what they want to hear, and I'm up here literally calling them Nazi thinkers. So that, yeah, oh Lord, that's gonna go so well. But let's talk about anorexia since everybody's a fucking expert on it. If Eugenia's out there making people sick by existing, then what the fuck made her sick? No one gets anorexia from TikTok. They don't get it. Disorders don't bloom because somebody saw a magazine article. They come from trauma. They come from brain chemistry. They come from stuff that sinks in before you even have fucking language for it. And reducing this illness to, oh, she saw a TikTok video and that made her skip lunch. That's not only ignorant, that's fucking offensive. My eating disorder didn't come from media. It came from my life. It came from my trauma and my brain wiring. Eugenia did not give it to me, and she did not give it to you, and she's not giving it to any fucking kids, okay? And by the way, we don't fucking owe you recovery. Not me, not her, not anyone. Well, if she doesn't change, she doesn't get my empathy. Well, congratulations. You never had any fucking empathy to begin with, because empathy isn't conditional. This isn't about Eugenia. This isn't even about eating disorders. It's about how the internet forms a mob every time a mentally ill person gets too visible. She's not evil. I'm not evil. We're not dangerous. We're not manipulating anybody. She's sick. She's vulnerable. She's submissive. And she doesn't fight back. And the mob goes after the weakest fucking gazelle. And that is her fucking crime, isn't it? She's an easy target. Fuck you guys. I hate the world, dude.